And of course, after the webinar, you will all receive this PowerPoint. We also have some nice tools for you that Sven will be presenting, and we will send you the recording. And please also respond to our survey at the end so that we can improve even further. Then without further ado, I will give the floor to Sven. Good luck and enjoy.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So quickly to go through the agenda of today, we're just going to talk a little bit about what kind of branding can impact, which you can impact, can set up in the system, and what can also give a bit of an impact to the users that are using the application. Then we will talk a little bit about branding the Skillflix homepage, some do's and don'ts in practice, and a couple of examples in the presentation, but then also just showing specifically in the app, considering responsiveness, and just to recap all of the resources that we have currently available that you can also use to make sure that you have a nice look and feel for your users in the application. So what impacts your branding? So first of all, I would like to just repeat, and probably we have mentioned this also during different onboarding sessions with our clients, but it's also a little bit our MobieTrain vision that we do not need to spend too much time on branding. I think the trainings itself, the content that you put available for your users is still more important than spending too much time on branding the application or designing the application. So, but there are a couple of things in the app that can have a very big impact. The first one is definitely the Skillflix homepage. It's the first thing that you see as a user, and this is kind of, it's your home screen, so it needs to be intuitive, it needs to look appealing, so you can have a very big impact on that. We will talk a little bit more about that later. The splash screen, when you click on a training and you have a couple of seconds, a small splash screen that comes onto the app, can have an impact. The color of the track and the background that you use, and then also the images and the text, how you build this up inside a learning moment. And we will show as many examples as possible. So first on the home screen, the first thing, and we also got some feedback from our graphic designer internally, who unfortunately cannot be here, but she also got us some pointers to make sure to keep this in mind. So the first thing is the logo that you upload in the CMS directly. Make sure that it's a transparent logo and it's in a PNG format, so it has the best result in your application. Now, every logo from every client is of course different. So it also needs to work. If it's quite a full logo or a round logo, then it's perfect. But if you have, for example, logos with letters or with text, I'm looking at one of our clients where you have, for example, Terre Bleue, where there might be some, it exists out of words, with quite thin letters, then it might disappear a little bit in the track that you have there. So then you need to make a little bit the decision, do we want to upload the transparent logo, or do we want to perhaps make a frame around it so that it's nice and white? So that depends also a bit on your personal client logo. Then consider also the play button. That it also has a little bit the same look and feel. Standard, this will always be MobieTrain orange. So for some clients, this might be okay. For other clients, for example, if you look at this home screen, it has a very cohesive look and feel. If the play button here would be orange, you might get the feeling a bit like, that's a bit strange. Avoid text on your avatars, and so the avatars are the little thumbnail images for the different trainings. If you do want to use text, then you need to consider the responsiveness, which we will show also later in the application directly. Yeah? So that's quite important. This is an example of an avatar where we uploaded a logo with some text, where on the mobile device it looks really fantastic. On the laptop, it cuts a piece of text, basically. Which is, of course, a little bit normal because on the laptop, we are looking at a horizontal image. On the mobile device, we're looking at a square image. And so, yeah, no matter what we do with responsiveness, it depends on how we upload the image that we can, if we consider that and we consider the right sizes, that still the text is in a certain center or a box, that it will appear nicely. And we have a couple of templates for that as well to help you out to make sure that it's. Aline, did you have a question? Or?
We
Nee? Okay.
we were both a bit wondering what you meant by responsiveness on the
Ah,
previous
yes.
slide.
Yes. Okay. No problem. I will show it as I will show it later also. It means that when you have the computer screen, and if I slide the computer screen, yeah, you will see that the dimensions of the images change. And so with responsive, we mean that we can go from a mobile device to a tablet to a laptop, because that's still a bit part of our vision that people can access. Of course, we are mobile first, but it's accessible on any device. But it needs to be responsive, of course, because in the beginning, we would only have, let's say, the small screen, the mobile device screen in the middle. When, of course, you log in on a computer, it looks a bit strange that it's such a thin, small screen. So that's why we made it responsive also for a desktop. So I will show it live also later. That's what we mean with that terminology. So here you can, in this example of the North Face, you can also see that when you upload more branded images, generic images, then they are much more forgiving, let's say, towards that responsiveness. When you really upload something with text, you can really see that something is wrong or it doesn't really fit nicely. Now, of course, you need to think about your target audience. If you're a client where you feel or you know that your audience only uses the mobile device for following the trainings and doesn't follow anything on tablets or on desktop computers, then of course you don't need to consider that responsiveness so much. But we know that from a lot of our clients, there is a big variety of one person doing this on a laptop, the other person on a tablet, the other person on a mobile device. So it's important to consider that. This is an example of the splash screen, and I'm going to upload it also later into the CMS so you can really see the difference. But you can see that we have here a design that would work for both the laptop as on the desktop computer. And so you can see also on the right, you can see that little frame. This is what will show up on the mobile device, but the rest surrounding, the rest outside of that box, it will show on the desktop, but not on the mobile device. So that's why it's important to keep your text or important images inside of that text box. Yeah. We have this kind of a reference guide, which you can also find in the CMS. So with every learning track crash course that you create, you will see that there's a splash screen and there's two download buttons below, which is this kind of reference guide as well. So it can give you the right dimensions. Yeah. Then the learning path color and the background. So the left example is the MobieTrain example, is our own environment, and we are a very big fan of less is more. And so we do not play around too much with background. We just keep it plain and simple, just white, and then we have our branded colors of that kind of learning track. On the site, we have an example of Vans where in the beginning we create the content for Vans, so we were also experimenting a little bit with the images and what can we do with it. And you can see that actually the learning track itself, it disappears a little bit into the image, which I think has a not a very appealing look and feel. So we changed it into something more subtle, which is then next to that, which we feel definitely works better. And then from our client who recently launched Mirari, we adapted the logo a little bit transparent. So that's also a little bit a balance of a background that can definitely work together with the color of the learning path. Yeah, so I would definitely encourage to experiment a little bit with that. But again, as we say, less is more. There was also another example where we used a very dark background and with a very contrasting color of the learning track. So that also immediately gives a totally different look and feel, but you need to experiment a little bit with that because, of course, if you choose the color of the learning path, don't forget that all the titles and the buttons will also be that same color in the learning moment. And there's a couple of things I can show it later that are all the titles and the arrows that you click are the same color as your learning path. If, for example, you would upload, if you would upload a black background and select the color of the path white, you will not see titles and you will not see the arrow buttons in the next screen. So you do need to experiment and be a bit smart on with what you do here. Then we have the branding pack. So it could be that there are clients here that haven't seen it yet, that have been on board a little bit longer. It's something that we have created, I think, only a couple of months ago, which is kind of a basic template. It's an Illustrator template where maybe a lot of people here on the call might not have the right software, but I can assure you that your communication and marketing department will definitely have that available. If you can provide this already and involve those people as well, it will save you really a lot of time, especially in the beginning, to set everything up. And so you have a basic pack of images already ready. And so I just would like to quickly show a couple of examples from a couple of clients that really adapted this in a very nice way. And we have Xenos, we have Mirari. They just send over the template and their creative department just filled in the template with the correct look and feel. And then you're absolutely sure that we have the right logos, you're using the right colors, and everything is in line with the branding guidelines. Another example here from Terbleu and Gigue, who also adapted this nicely into having a basic set of images. And then for yourself on an operational side or HR or L&D side, it's just easy to use those images and upload them directly into the system. So we think this can have an added value and speed up as well the process. Then, of course, there's a bit of branding inside the learning moment, where I took the example when yesterday evening where I did also, because practice what you preach. So of course we have our own account with our own trainings. And yesterday I did our fantastic track, which is around the MobieTrain values. And I thought these were also great examples of how you can adapt branding into the learning moment itself. And so the first point to highlight here is to say, use the text editor to balance out the text itself. And to also work, you can see on the second example, you can see that we also used a little bit the MobieTrain orange to highlight some pieces of text there as well. But definitely keep it balanced, I would say, for the people that occasionally try to go wild in, I remember, but it's maybe back from the 90s, word art. If you would like to create like a word template, you can go very wild. But I would also say keep it simple, because the branding cannot distract the user, of course, from the message and the content that you would like to transfer. So, and create a consistent look and feel, which I think we are doing in a really nice way here. We have the images that, okay, it's different images, but you can feel a little bit that they belong together. It's a bit the same look and feel. And then also in the swipe question, we also are playing around with the same colors as well from the brand. And then you really create that kind of it's for the user itself, it's not an application which is MobieTrain, but it's really an application from your company. And so you really create that look and feel. So try to also be consistent in the branding that you adapt in those learning moments, in your avatars, in everything that you do. And then also respect image sizing when you can. So I think in the last feature Flash, or beginning of this year or end of last year, Christoph also presented that we optimized our image handling. So you don't need to resize them anymore. You don't need to have them below 700 kilobytes anymore. Basically now, any image our system can handle. However, we still feel that when you still consider certain image sizing, that it really has the best impact, the best result also on a mobile device. And so it doesn't really matter what kind of image you upload, but we still are a very big fan of these kind of sizes. So, and then again, I think we did it also as well in the past. If there's a certain subject or a certain learning track that you would like to create, we have seen it as well where our clients would just send the instructions to a creative department and say, give me a set of 25 images, branded images that I can use for this topic or for this track. And then you also have it ready, because I think for the content people that are here, or even our internal content team that is joining the webinar, trying to find the right image can also be very time consuming. If you say, what kind of image can I use here? Okay, you go to Google, you type in an image, and before you know it, for just 5 or 10 images, you're actually doing a lot of work. So if you can instruct or have the liberty to use a creative department as well, I think you can definitely win here as well. This is just an example of in all the same sizes what our graphic designer has created also for us as well, to have kind of a basic set of images when our content team creates trainings for us, that they also have a set of images that they can use, so they don't have to spend too much time in searching images on the internet. Yes, so far so good. Any questions so far? No? Then I'm just quickly going to switch to the beloved and almost starting to become famous pasta account or spaghetti account from Christoph, where I just wanted to quickly show when we were talking about the responsiveness, we can see that when we drag the screen, the images and the size of the images also change. And so here it's more square. Here it's already a bit horizontal, and here it's even wider. So a good example here is that when we look at these kind of images, which are generic, they really don't have text. They are quite forgiving. And so it doesn't really matter if there's a small piece of the image falling off, it doesn't really matter. When we look at these kind of images, we can see, for example, so there's one image, the onboarding one, this image, we have considered the responsiveness. With this image welcome, we have not considered the responsiveness. So if I slide it, you will see that still onboarding is centered in the tile, but then in welcome, there's a cut off, a piece of the text cut off. So we will make sure also when we post all of the material on our client portal, we will make sure you also have all of the different templates as well. So you make sure you have the right, let's say, frame to keep your text in. And when you consider that for the avatar, then every image should be no problem. So the only other example I wanted to give here was if I now click on a training. So I have here a splash screen that is not considering the responsiveness, because if I then drag it, you actually see that it looks nice, but if it's big, you only see a very small piece of that. So if I try here in the CMS under my settings, I now really have that kind of mobile device splash screen uploaded. If I now choose this image, for example. Okay, so now it's uploaded under the feature Flash. I think I probably need to refresh. So you will see that now there's the response. Oh.
The onboarding has its own learning path. That's why.
Ah, okay. Ah, voila. So then you indeed see that that the responsiveness is adapted. Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. I wasn't aware of that. So this MobieTrain onboarding has an other splash screen uploaded in the settings of the learning track itself. Yeah, and then of course it overrides the default settings. Yes. So that is it from my side. Sarah, was there a split up? No, we cannot do it, of course.
Yes, we can split up, but just one more thing, Sven. You were also going to show us with the text that would fall off with the responsiveness to the bottom of that. Some people use the avatars with the text. It's also interesting.
I showed it with the welcome. I showed it with the welcome one. We have here, for example, some tiles where it looks really cool because it has kind of like a category that jumps out of all of the other categories with some nice colors and all the same little look and feel with the text, but it's not considering the responsiveness. So of course, if you slide it like this, then the text will fall off. And so then it's better to say, and of course you need to consider that the title of the training is always here on the bottom. And so I would, in this case, I would just center the image and then leave the text out because the actual title of the training is below. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Any questions, perhaps?
If there are any questions, please put them in the chat. Laura and Lynn, thank you for also joining us. If there are no questions now, I would like to split you all up in 2 breakout rooms where you can talk to Sven, talk to us, but also talk to each other and maybe see if other people have some best practices for you from other clients as well. So that you can share experiences and get to know each other. Sven, you will be in one breakout room. Christophe will also be joining in the other breakout room, and some of our customer success will also be in the both rooms. So
yeah, we can also have a look a bit here because from what I see now here on the participants, we actually, I think, so some people already left. And I think we have Fashion Society and Durer Fashion Group still on the call. So two fashion retailers. So I'm not really sure if we just have to split it up or we can just have the conversation right here.
Also, yeah, a good idea actually. Does one of you want to share an experience? I also already see that Nancy is unmuting herself, so go ahead, Nancy.
I have a little question for Sven. I'm not aware of the possibility use the text editor. What do you mean by that?
Yes, that's just it's probably self-explanatory, but it's just that we say split up the text, make some things bold, use the bullet points as well, highlight some text in color. So it's just the text editor options, the same as in Word, for example, where you would change it up. So because in the beginning we only had like plain text, so one full text. So and we see that if you balance that out, then it looks quite quite good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah, any Fashion Society, any questions from your seat? We have also Nancy here. Terbleu, Gigue, they are already live. They have launched the application already. So if you have any questions, I mean around branding or the app itself, not technical questions around integration.
I don't have any question at this moment, but to be honest, I'm not working very much in the application at this
Same
moment.
as, yeah. It could also be that Manon, Emily, Laura have questions, so don't hesitate.
Or if you want to share an experience or a best practice that you did yourself.
Sven, I have one more question. It's not very clear to me. Pat Splashscreen.
Yeah.
What's the exact use? In our learning tracks, it's white.
Is it? Then it's probably not been uploaded yet.
And what do we take?
So we can upload it right here under the settings, generic settings, and then upload the splash screen here. But Nancy, I will after the call.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I see it's okay. It's through our fashion group. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, no.
Perfect. All right.
So,
yes.
I also have a question. Sorry, my camera was switched off. I didn't recognize.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. So, yeah, are there some updates coming about the screen where the path line shows? Because we have a lot of, how should I say, a lot of pictures with color, and the line is faded as you have shown before. So are there maybe some updates coming? So yeah, because we thought we want to use the more colorful pictures, but yeah, as you have shown, it doesn't work well. So we decided to, yeah, have like more white screens, but yeah.
Yeah, here
the
I would where you see the line here, I would definitely avoid too many pictures. So I think definitely when you say colorful pictures, make sure you use them with the avatars. Make sure you use them also in the learning moment itself, where you upload images with text slides or questions to make that colorful. But here on the learning track, I would be careful with that. And we have also nothing planned to make it any different with the background versus the learning path.
Okay. And the next question is, we have a media gallery for videos, right? Is there also a media or image gallery for pictures?
Well, this is definitely so. At the moment, I think you still need to have kind of that folder on your computer with centralized the images. Definitely, we want to expand also in the future, but that can also be the not the close future, but the distant future, I would say, because that depends really on the, let's say a bit the priorities and what we would like to do first, because we have a very big list of things that we would like to do and that we would like to develop. But then it's also deciding a bit what do we want to do first, of course. So I'm definitely sure, because I think from a vision point of view, it's definitely the case that I think the media library will grow towards having also images or documents or PDF or whatever. But I'm not sure if that's like the biggest priority that we would like to do. So so let's see where we put that on the roadmap. But that's not up to us to decide.
Okay. So thanks for your answers.
No problem. Yes. Any other questions? All good?
Very
Okay.
nice explanation, Sven. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Then I guess we will make sure to put all the material available, also the different templates, the image sizes, so that you have everything you need. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you, of course, have any other ideas how we can get that material that's available for you even better, then let us know.
Indeed. We will put everything in the customer portal just as we do with the other webinars. So you will be receiving an email about this. If you missed the email, of course, you can contact your customer success manager and we can send you the direct link as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.